Stroke and dementia are both age-related diseases, so obviously the society is ageing, so therefore the prevalence of these diseases is going up. It's estimated now, and this is increasing, that 15 million people per year will have a stroke. So what our research is trying to do is find new treatments, ways to understand more what's happening in the brain, and if we understand what's happening, we might be able to find ways to treat them.
My sister Natalie, she studied here. She was struck by a brain hemorrhage, and unfortunately, after several days in the hospital, she passed away. This led us as a family through this tragedy. We wanted to feel something positive could come of this. So we turned to the University of Manchester with the aim of doing something good and trying to raise funds for research.
We tend to span from what I call bench to bedside, so that's sort of from people who are working in a laboratory with cells in a dish, through to models of the disease, through to the actual patients, and we have people who span all areas.
I work on brain hemorrhage, and in particular I try to understand how your body reacts through the immune system to that bleed on the brain, and whether there is an interaction between the immune system and the brain cells that's modifiable by therapeutic targets, and if that's positive or negative to the individual.
What we found during our involvement is that a lot of the students who are taking part in this research, their projects end at a certain point. And at that point, if there isn't any further funding, then that's the end of that. What we've found is that we've been able to then find other students to learn from the previous researchers and then carry on the research. So you get this continuity.
My research is looking at understanding inflammation in cerebral vascular disease, and this is more looking at when the brain gets less blood, how does the brain cope with that? And from this then you get an inflammatory response. So I want to look at how this inflammatory response makes this whole process a lot worse.
There's wins in terms of personnel. Actually, we train a huge number of PhD students and postdocs who come through the lab. In terms of the scientific and impact on patients, the success story in Manchester was a drug which is an anti-inflammatory drug which we've shown over many years reduces inflammation after stroke. That drug is now in phase 3 trial, and if it shows benefit to the patients, it will then become a licensed treatment.
Colleagues have already taken stuff into clinical trial, and that's work started from work we've done within a laboratory. And actually for myself, some of the work for my PhD has ended up contributing towards a drug which is now in clinical trial.
Once or twice a year, we always get to sit down with the researchers, and it's really rewarding. It's great for us to know that every bit of effort that they've put in is going directly towards something which is already making a difference, and in the future possibly could make a huge difference.